You know, when Mattel first introduced these accessory 2-packs, I really didn't think they'd last that long. I thought it would have been one of those things. They put a whole bunch out at the beginning, they do a couple for cars on the road, and then they just call it a day because Walmart's like, hey, these aren't selling great, we don't really want them. And then you see them at Ross and TJ Maxx and stuff like that. Like, that's literally what I thought would happen with this line. It's very goofy. Doesn't include any new releases. Like, maybe you can consider Royce Revsley and that That's Jammin' pack last year kind of including a new one because it snuck out just before the single of That's Jammin'. But overall, these are 2-packs of re-releases with some kind of cool new accessories depending on your point of view. And they're not even diving into the best of the best they could do with these. Like, they could do Piston Cup racers, like regular, just random Piston Cup racers, and everyone would eat that stuff up because people just, one, love Piston Cup racers, and two, they would love the new accessories. But they're doing very strange characters with it that people don't have that connection to. Like these Salt Flats racers, no one really cares about yet. I mean, they're cool, all that stuff. Nile here is very new, so hey, maybe you can get them in this pack. But I don't know, guys. Either way, though, they keep making them. I mean, the bottom line is they keep making them, and they don't peg warm actually a ton, shelf warm, because there's no peg for them. But I do tend to see more and more every time I go. It's like, oh, there's quite a few of them here. There's a lot of them here, you know. So maybe these are on their last leg. It just took a little bit longer. But yeah, I think the big question that we should think about is, will they do more? Like, is this it? Is Nile and Gerson the last one? Or will there be more after this? And if so, which will they do? I feel like there will be more. I think a maybe Revo Cost Mark Sontheimer pack is in store. I feel like that would be pretty cool. Although, what would they put on the sticker for Mark Sontheimer? Because he's literally just blank blue. Would they just do a blue one? So honestly, that's probably not something they would do. Who knows, guys? Let me know what you think in the comments below. But obviously today we will be reviewing the two newest packs. They aren't from the same wave. This one actually came out a couple months ago. This one just came out last month. And so let me think here. The first wave had the 4 new ones. Then you had the 2 Cars on the Road ones. Then you had the Cars 1 ones like the King and McQueen. And then you had this and you had this. So I guess this is wave 4 and 5, I think, even though the waves are now just including one new pack. So yeah, but at least this new one includes the Airborne and Superfly pack. I think that's who it is. Or is it? I don't know. Whatever. It includes the Demolition Derby pack from last year that was actually kind of rare. So it gives everyone a second chance with that. And yeah, guys, let's dive right on in here. Let's not ramble around like I like to do. I'm a big rambler, as you guys probably can tell. So yeah, here we have the Doc Hudson Heyday Leroy Hemming, who is just regular Leroy Hemming. There's no difference between Heyday Leroy Hemming and straight up Leroy Hemming because we only see him in his heyday. And then you have Dirt Track Fabulous Hudson Hornet. And yeah, this is a perfect one to open because someone already tried to, evidently. But yeah, you got the flags, the cones, the stickers, which are a little bit flimsier than they used to be, but they still look cool. And yeah, this one I'm actually pretty excited about. I love how this flag looks with the 300 on it. For whatever reason, the fact that it's got 3 digits instead of 2 just really tickles me. On the back here, you can see a couple other offerings from the other movies, or at least, yeah, Cars 3 rather than Cars on the Road. So yeah, you have the first one they basically did, Rust-eze, McQueen, and Jackson Storm. Not bad, but we already had like the bonus collector cards of these two, so I think that was one of the worst ones they've done. And honestly, same thing with this one. We both already had collector cards of these two, so Fabulous McQueen and Dinoco Cruz. And so this one's actually really good. We don't have collector cards for either of these. I love Leroy's, the revolting on there. I'm glad that they leaned into that versus his other decals because he does have a lot. But yeah, 8 pieces included, of course. 2 cones, 2 flags, 2 cars, 2 stickers. And yeah, this one's just yearning to be open based on the state of this card here. And then here we have the newest one. This one's not a pretty good card, except for the hook. Yeah, I think a lot of people will like this one. The only thing that would caution me on that is the fact that the Walmart Case J, which is being found at Walmart's right now, the half version of Case J, aka the Walmart Case J. I know it gets a little confusing. It has Nile Speedcone. Nile Speedcone has been, I don't want to say peg warming, but I have not had any difficult finding Nile Speedcone at Walmart lately. I found oodles and oodles of him, and sometimes there's like 3 or 4 per store. And then you also have the accessory packs at the same stores, like, you know, the same Walmarts that have the singles have these as well. So it's like, all right, that's a lot of Nile Speedcone, and something, it's like they're cannibalizing each other. You know, if they were at different stores or different times, maybe it wouldn't be as bad. But you go in there and you see the 2-pack, you're more likely to just grab that than the single. Or if you already have Gearsten Marshall and you don't really care about all this accessory stuff, you're just going to grab the single, which is literally like a third or a fourth of the price of this. These are like $12, which is absurd, guys. That's absolutely absurd, to be honest with you, because the singles are $3.72 each. That puts you at around $6.44, right? Or no, $7.44. And so that leaves about $5 that you're paying for all this stuff here. The flags, the cones, and the stickers. So you guys tell me, do you think that's worth it? I don't know. I don't really think so, but yeah. I mean, you see me here buying them, but I'm buying them to review. I'm a completist, means I buy everything no matter what. Yeah, so basically, yeah, they got me by the, you know what I was going to say. But yeah, I do kind of like how the package is a little different here. Like the 8 pieces included is written in a different font than it is on the Cars 3 packaging, which is kind of strange, actually. But you could see Cars on the Road McQueen and Rust-eze Racing Center, Dinoco Cruz Ramirez or whatever. Dats Jammin' and Royce Revsley. Love how shiny Dats looks in his stock image. Didn't come out quite that way. And then you have these 2 Jokers. Love how they really play up to the 523 number on Nile, even though that's literally all you see of it right there. And they're like, oh yeah, he's number 523, obviously. It's like, okay. The numbers seem so arbitrary, so random. Like, they're almost more like an identifier than a number that the racer actually chose for themselves. But all right, I'll be right back with the stuff all opened up. All right, here we have everyone out of the package looking pretty snazzy, and it's always worth mentioning with these that they're the only really remaining Cars products that have physical name tag inserts in the blisters. Everything has gone on to the card for everything else, whether it be 2-packs, deluxes last year were the same way, and obviously singles, color changers still have the name tags though as well. I do have individual reviews of all of these, so check those videos out in the description below. We're not going to be showing where they appear in the movie or the series because I already do in those videos. We're going to be seeing if they are different from the previous Thailand versions of them and then going over the accessories. And we're going to start with none other than the Retro Racers, who have some seniority over our new Salt Flats Jokers, as I like to call them. So yeah, here we have Dirt Track Fabulous Hudson Hornet, who looks pretty good. He's a little wobbly, a little jiggly there, more so than usual. Now I have like probably 3 or 4 of these loose from Thailand somehow, because he's big on being included in 2-packs, whether it be with Jet Robinson or Double Clutch Daily, and now this, he's a big 2-pack man. And yeah, I think they also have done him as a single this year, which is kind of crazy. Lots of Dirt Track Fabulous Hornet, but they know he sells very well. He's one of the best-selling releases alongside the King that's not new. You know, he's one of those just iconic classics that will sell no matter what. And yeah, he looks pretty much the same as he's always been. Definitely more jiggly, though. Like, see? I don't know, just something seems a little off over here, but whatever. Fabulous Hudson Hornets. Twin H-Power 51 Hudson Hornets. S08A, the 8th week of 2023 at the A Factory, made in Thailand. So this are actually made a long time ago, but that checks out because of the fact that these are already a couple months old, whereas the Nile pack is much newer. But yeah, these don't look different at all. Let's see when my other one here was made. L46A, so this one's actually one of the first ones they've ever done from Thailand, actually. This is probably from my Jet Robinson 2-pack, to be honest with you guys. So yeah, it's actually good to know that nothing's really changed. You don't have to worry about variants, or maybe even if there were a variant, you wouldn't care. And that's a good way to be as well, because there's already enough out there to collect. To worry about variants is just kind of like a nuisance, to be honest with you guys. Dirt Track Racer. It's kind of a weird print. It's kind of a weird text to have on the tire. But yeah, this is a great car. I always wish they gave him a different expression because it does get a little robotic. Since there's not much room in his windshield, it does just get a little repetitive. So yeah, again, this is the new one. This is the old one. Pretty much the same. Just kind of like a weird axle situation. Here's your flag. Pretty standard. Looks good. They did their job. Would have been hard to mess that up. And yeah, you got the cone, which is firm, hard plastic versus the rubber ones that they've put out in the past with certain things, whether it be the Mini Racers Advent Calendars or the Movie Moments from 2016. And yeah, you could put these in there. They slide in very nicely, nice and smooth, and it sticks so they won't fall out. And yeah, that's how I display them. Makes everything nice and compact. And then, of course, you have the sticker, which I won't be using as a sticker. You guys know I hate stickers. But it actually makes for a good display piece. I don't love the fact that, like, the brand of the sticker, like whatever sticker paper they're using, like, is printed here on the back. I hate that. That looks so tacky and cheap. But yeah, fabulous Hudson Hornet. Again, would have been hard to mess that up. If this looks familiar, it should, because it's very similar to Fabulous Lightning McQueen's one that came out last year. A little bit lighter blue. But yeah, good stuff. I'm glad we do finally have some graphics for Doc that we can use in the background, whether it be a stop motion or just a regular video or a thumbnail. I love these things for thumbnails. Like, this will look great. Like, bam. I mean, obviously I'll have to build it out a little bit more, but for a thumbnail, these are super duper helpful. And honestly, I haven't had the opportunity to use any of them yet. I don't think. I haven't gotten around. I don't think there's been an opportunity to do so. Anyways, here we have Leroy Hemming, who's a really great release in my opinion, but he's just kind of been overdone ever since 2018. He came out as a single, then he was released in a 2-pack, then he got another single this year. So yeah, honestly though, his single this year is pretty rare actually, but yeah, just kind of overcooked a little bit. Now he's back again. This is the original 2018 release here. Yep, L40A. That's exactly when Jet Robinson 2-pack came out with Doc here, when mine was L46 there. And then this one's SO8. It's interesting that he has a brown base. It's kind of unique. Looks like I'll be able to swap this out from this one because you could see a couple like little weird dots right along the windshield. Some chips or something, some misprints. But yeah, I do like him a lot. I mean, just look at this grill here. Like, it's so intricate. I don't know what it says there, though. I know he's based on a real car. Impala? No. I don't know what that says. You guys let me know. But I love the two-sided grill. It looks like a mustache, and it's meant to be one for sure. Faraday Valley Dealers. Let's see if the decals got any clearer. Looks like they got a little bit... Yeah, I actually do like the decals more. It's a more vibrant red. Like, it's a little bit more concentrated, thicker red. Whereas this is a little bit pastier, a little grainier. Like, you could definitely see the difference in between the reds there. So actually, guys, for once, we have decal improvement. Guys, look at this. Look at this. Look at that crappy decal right there compared to this now. That's the revolting logo. Look at how much it's improved. I mean, it's still not great, but that looks so washed out and grainy compared to that. That's a crisp, look at the line of that oval. That is crispy, and it's much clearer and more cut out than that. Oh my gosh, guys, look at that. This might be our first true concrete example of decal improvement from Thailand. It has been 5 years in between these two releases and then some. But that's awesome, guys. That's actually incredible. So tell your friends, because I don't think many people are talking about this. But yeah, revolting 300, that again looks much better. Look, that looks like a solid paint stroke, whereas this just looks like very wafty and running out of ink almost, you know what I mean? But yeah, you have Orlando, Florida. Full power and long lasting. Those look pretty much the same, but you can tell in the red of the power text there. Leroy Hemming on the roof. So make sure we don't get mixed up. But yeah, again, nice 300 decal there on the new one. Before it looks fine, but just not as good. World's fastest production model stock sedan. Again, you have the old one on the left, new one on the right. This car qualified at 130.293. I love the decals on him. I will say, though, you could tell that the text here is thinner than it is on the new version. It's bolder, and it makes that harder to read. This car qualified at, that's a little harder because it all blends together when it's bolder than here. And you could definitely tell for the speed there, the text is bolder. So that's a little interesting. His license plate, Leroy. The license plate's a little darker. I don't know if I'd say the license plate looks any better. I think the license plate looks worse, actually. The lighter orange with the dark blue makes for a nice contrast, whereas here it's like a brighter orange and then like a blurrier Leroy, honestly. I'm not a huge fan of how that looks, but overall the decals are significantly better. Let's not smash them together, though. Like, even the checkered flags just looks more... There's more conviction in these decals than those ones. But the license plate does look to be a little bit squandered. Overall, I'm very pleased, actually, with the new Leroy Hemming here. And I wonder if the single of him from 2023 is similar to this, or is it more similar to the old one. Either way, though, again, I love the flag with the 300. Looks great. I love the font, too. It's such a retro font. And I think that's what really helps a bit. But yeah, slide that in there as well. Perfect. And then absolutely adore his little sticker here because it accentuates revolting the important decals, because that is his sponsor, instead of making it like Faraday Valley Dealers or something stupid like that. I'm sure Mattel could have pulled a what the hell moment and done something like full power and long lasting, but they pulled some really great eye-catching decals like the double checkered flags there. Looks really good. Maybe I would have tried to put the 300 on there, but nah, they didn't need to do that. It's on the flag. Really nice. I'm very pleased with Leroy, guys. I'm very pleased. I'm not sure if all that was worth $5, but I'm pleased with it. All right, moving on to these two. We have Gearsten Marshall. I have so many of this guy loose because he was in the 2-pack with Mark Sontheimer. I guess that's only like 2 loose. Now 3, but still not great. Looks to be a little bit more of a vibrant yellow. So this is the new one. This is the old one. R38A, 38th week of last year, 13th week of this year for new Gear Dog. He doesn't have his little chocolate milk stain. I'm glad he doesn't have salty tires like the other Salt Flats racers from last year did. 0415 RDRR. Now we're going to talk about this because some of these decals are going to appear on their stickers and they're so random and arbitrary. Like, they're just a collection of numbers and initials or letters, and we have no idea what they truly mean. And by the way, these two look very similar to me. The decals might look a little bit better or worse in some areas depending on how your eye hits it, but yeah, these are pretty much the same. I think the 15 looks much better than it does there. But yeah, I really need some sort of like meet the cars on the road. Like meet the cars, but for cars on the road. Or something to give us some background on these characters that are being shoved down our throats. A.K.A. Gearsten Marshall and like all the other Salt Flats racers and Noriyuki Saracogs. I mean, Noriyuki obviously speaks and has more of a story to him, but I just want to understand like where all these numbers and like the racing series, like I know it's very unorganized out there. You just come out and you hit it, but like they make a big deal about all these numbers, and initials, especially here on the sticker. Like RDRR, I want to know what that means. The fact that they're putting it on their stickers, which are almost like their banners, makes it seem like they're significant, more so than just a random identification number given like when you run a marathon. Like when you run a marathon, obviously that number might become important to you because you're, sentimental about it or whatever, but like your number might be like A395 or something, and because you're like, I don't know, in that age group and you're the 395th person, like whatever it may be. And it's very arbitrary, doesn't mean jack. Whereas, you look at some of these other decals on cars within the Cars universe, like they're meaningful, and even if it's not meaningful within the Cars universe, it might reference somebody who worked on the series, or it might reference something important. Like 95 is the year that the first Pixar movie came out, Toy Story, on Lightning McQueen. So stuff like that, you guys know what I mean. Like 51 on the Hudson Hornet, because that was the year that he was made. So I don't know, you guys tell me. But I just want to know, RDRR, that's a cool, I love the font, I love the shadow, the drop shadow they did on that, looks really cool. And it makes it seem like those numbers and that sequence of letters are more significant than just, an identification because they're on his quote-unquote banner. But again, I guess the people who designed these didn't really have much to work off of, and so they just pulled what they looked to be the best. And I like the stripe. I mean, this looks good and all that stuff. Again, you got this stupid ass, I mean, that just looks so cheap. OIGLabel.com. Like, come on, guys. Couldn't you have paid for just a blank sticker sheet? I mean, that just looks really, really tacky in my opinion. I mean, yeah, everything, it's got a little bit of some. That one's got that. That one's got the website. This one had a piece of it. Well, the Fabulous Lightning McQueen one from before didn't have any of it. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. But anyways, yeah, that's just kind of my rant on these numbers. And I've touched on it before, like when I reviewed them individually. So it's nothing too crazy. All right. Move on to Nile Speedcone here to finish us off. The new one is on the right, old one on the left. Let's see how far apart these were made. S14. Oh, wow, look at this. S17A, but in a much smaller and different colored stamping. Interesting. Okay. So 3 weeks apart. Let's see what they could have changed in 3 weeks. Probably not much. Tired, guys. Had another fantasy draft today with my buddy. I think it went well. Got Trevor Lawrence again. Decals don't look great. That's 7, 8, 9 right there. On the new one, looks way worse than it does on the single version. You got the vent intake, looks fine. 523, again, a very small, seemingly irrelevant number, especially because he also has 703 here. So like, how do you pick which one actually matters? You know what I mean? It's got the plastic fin, parachute. Yeah, everything looks pretty much the same on him. Slight decal differences and all that stuff, but yeah, I think that will vary even if you were to like take two singles and compare them. But yeah, let's take a look at his accessories. So he also has a 3-digit number, but it's a very boring standard font compared to Leroy's. And that was another thing, another complaint that I have with the Salt Flats Racers is that some of their numbers just look like they're out of Microsoft Word. Like That's Jammin's is literally such a basic font. And I mean, that also just goes to show that it could just be an identification number that was slapped on. It means nothing to them. And so, I don't know, guys. It just gets me riled up a little bit. Cars on the Road gets me riled up in general. So anyways, yeah, this is pretty lame. Pretty lame. Probably the worst flag, actually, of the bunch here. Oh, yeah, I didn't even show Gearsten's flag. Yeah, Gearsten's flag is fine because it's a nice font, and the blue on yellow looks really cool, actually. So I will take that. I have no problems with it. And then you got Nile's sticker. Nile probably, I don't know, I think Leroy is the best sticker, but this is actually a really cool sticker because it shows all of his decals down here blown up so you can actually read them, right? So again, whatever 789 means, who knows? Again, it's one of the many arbitrary numbers on here. You have 789, 523, and 703. They clearly chose 523 as the one that matters to identify him. Yeah, I mean, who knows if that's true. MON 13, Monday the 13th. Again, don't know what that means. It's probably some sort of sponsor. Same thing with Intake. Makes sense. And then you have XA or KA 2010. Mystery revealed. I know we've all been dying to know what that last sponsor actually reads because it's literally just a black bar because the decal is so poor. And yeah, I think they did a nice job actually with the yellow stripes on him. They blew him up a little bit because on the diecast they are much thinner and a little bit more subtle. So it's more like what he has going on the fin there. So yeah, I think this looks fine. Screw that. Screw that though. So yeah, guys, let me know in the comments below which is your favorite all around, like accessories, flags, diecast included. I think Leroy by a long shot is the best. It's going to be hard to deny that, I think. I mean, I think he's the best diecast out of them all. And that's not even close. I think every single part to him is also the best, and it's not even close. I do like Nile's sticker, though. I will say that. And it's nice to finally have a sticker for Doc. But yeah, see, everything kind of sets up really cool. It does look nice. You can lean the stickers against the cones and the flags to create a little setup there, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Take a screenshot of this right now because this is pretty cool. Let's see if I can make the lighting a little bit better. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you soon for another video. Bye now.